Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tezos Bakers. Tezos Bakers is a new project I started because I really wanted to learn more about the smaller independent bakers that validate the Tezos network. We already have blockchain explorers where you can go on and you can click on people's addresses and kind of check out their stats. But to me, and I know for the community, it's very important to see face-to-face who the baker is, maybe their name, and find out a little bit more information about them and why you would want to bake with them. So first off is Rich. He's from Baked Bakery, and we're going to talk to him and see how long he's been in the industry. So Rich, thank you for coming, first of all.
Great, thanks for having me.
This is the first showcase, as you will, so it takes a lot to step up and volunteer, and we appreciate that, and the community appreciates that. So the question one would be, what is your background in the industry, and how did you get involved in Tezos to become a baker in the first place?
So I actually got into understanding money early on, around 2008. And I wanted to see what the reasons were for the whole market crashing. And I followed along. I followed Peter Schiff. He was the first one that I kind of got to try to understand what money was. And then I went down the rabbit hole of Milton Friedman and a couple of other people who explained some of the different types of ways that economies work. And that got me into discovering Bitcoin and finally understanding that there's a way that we can do better. And then from there, I got involved with Ethereum a little bit, and then went through the whole DAO hack and realized that there was something wrong with the way things were happening with Bitcoin and Ethereum as you get a fundamental understanding of what's really happening. And then I heard Arthur do a podcast, and listening to him describe some of the issues that could solve the problems that both Ethereum and Bitcoin had was very attractive to me. And then that was the day that I was sold. And I thought, oh, I love this project. This is the right direction. And so I've been involved ever since.
Yeah, it's interesting because I come from a gold and silver background, precious metals, and I understand the problem with transportation and verification. And I love that background, but, crypto gives that. So, that's very interesting. I've listened to Arthur a lot too, and just having a blockchain it can evolve, right? And that's what we talked about before is we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So to be able to just implement changes in the blockchain and, the whole governance feature, I really love that about Tezos myself. So that's a really good answer. And people hold these Tezos and, we have this, they pick a baker they stake with, right? So, why would someone stake with you, their Tezos in your bakery? You can tell us a little bit about your bakery, your day-to-day operations.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's one of the things is I feel like you should pick someone who's passionate about the project.
100%.
Yeah, and if you go with someone who's got their toes into like different cryptocurrencies, I mean, that's okay too. But if you're going with someone who really cares, like me, about Tezos, I'm pretty much all in to Tezos. I don't have any other investments in other cryptocurrencies,
Right.
and I'm 100% dedicated. The other thing for me is that I'm a software developer, so I'd like to follow the project at a deeper level than I think someone who's just maybe running an operation where they are making sure the infrastructure is running. I actually compile the Tezos, actually in this case here, it's now Octets binaries myself. I run the software myself, and I have that ability to make sure that the software is working before I deploy it to the production environment.
That's very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, even for me, I'm not a baker, I'll tell you right away. And I tried to get into it a little bit, and it was, I got some parts, but, when it gets into the, Ubuntu and all Linux, it kind of loses me. So, I have a very basic concept. So what you do is vitally important. And I think that's what people need to understand is like, we're at the crypto winter, right? But everyone's still building. Everyone is still doing things. And that's what this is kind of like getting out and saying, hey, we're still here. People are building things. Building dApps, all kinds of stuff. And actually, there's always a lot of good news. It's just, we're in kind of a bear market. So it is what it is. But definitely, you guys have some skill, and it being a decentralized network, there's no really way to, say thank you to some of these bakers, some of these smaller bakers that are doing so much for the network. So thank you for doing that, and all the other smaller bakers. Um, that kind of leads me to my next question, because we have these big conglomerates, right? We have like a lot of people use Coinbase, and Binance. I don't think Binance is doing staking, but Coinbase does definitely. So what is the advantage if someone is looking to delegate their Tezos? What is be the difference from them delegating to Coinbase versus, let's say, your bakery?
Yeah, so I think that the main advantage is that you're contributing to the decentralized network. If you're delegating to a very, very large baker, there's a risk that that baker gets too big and now starts to have an influence and power of the network. So there's another disadvantage. I think if you go with something like Coinbase, where you're giving up your Tez to Coinbase to actually do the staking, which means it's not your keys, not your coins, and
Right.
you don't want
That's
to
how
go
we got
down
this
that
in the
path.
first place, right? That's how kind of how all this stuff happened recently is because of what you just said. There's a perfect example of that,
Yeah.
and that's why, in my opinion, yeah, we gotta, if I have a choice, I'm going to go with the smaller independent baker, and I want to have more nodes. We don't. That's the direction that, that's the whole idea behind cryptocurrency in the first place, is having
Yep.
that decentralization. And that's why it's important for me in this project is to get out and to find some of those people that are trying to do that. And they're trying their best to do that for the Tezos network. Um, where do you see Tezos going? I mean, I see some use cases like, I could definitely see like in gaming and the NFT thing, I don't know where it's all going to go, but I do like to see that people are building. I've seen the dog and me coming out. Have you seen that?
Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I followed a lot of these projects, and some of them are exciting. I mean, anything that has any kind of transfer of value. I think that any project that requires a transfer of value is going to be valuable. There are some projects that are done on the blockchain, more of as an experiment. They're interesting, but there's no like transfer of value, and they're probably, I think, less likely to succeed. But time will tell. I mean, it's hard to tell. I would love to see Tezos used for payments, retail, everyday use. I mean, this is probably the ultimate. But I'm really, grateful to see the NFT community where, there's a lot of transfer of value there. And I even
Yeah.
have one on my website.
It's not. I feel like it's not going anywhere. I just feel like we're going through like a little phase here where people are maybe starting to realize more.
Yeah.
Not your coin thing. Get back to the basics. But then also there's a whole infrastructure that people are building as far as NFTs and actual use cases. And it's funny because that's what I always like. That's what drew me to Tezos in the first place. They don't get into a lot of hype. Even Arthur, they're just like building, right? They're just focused on doing the things that make the chain better. And and that's why you get into a bunch of meme coins, stuff like that. But I really believe that Tezos is building superior technology, and if it doesn't happen now, it will happen in the future, where people recognize the work that people like you do and others do in the community. So,
Yeah. I mean, the technology definitely is leading edge, and it's hard to convince people because there's so many people involved that don't understand technology, and they're in it because they're trusting someone else. And we could see what just happened with trust because, Kevin O'Leary was out there and he was supposed to be someone who was in technology for a long time, and there's people who trusted him to do due diligence, and he didn't quite do that. He trusted somebody else, and there was this chain of so it's a very difficult thing to expect from our users to be able to understand that one project is legitimate and another is not.
right.
And I think that until we actually get real world usage at a larger scale, I mean, we do have some usage today, but I think outside of the smaller markets, like right now, I would still consider NFT a smaller market relative to the global economy. And once we have real utility, that's when we're going to see who is winning the technology.
Right. I don't know, did you follow the Reddit NFTs at all? Did you follow when they did that? They gave away all these Reddit NFT avatars. they're very
No, but I
popular.
saw
So
that. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's just about how you do it, I think, and how you display it to people. Like a lot of people are buying the Reddit NFTs, and they didn't even realize they opened a crypto wallet, but here they have this digital collectible that they're
Yeah.
using on Reddit, and it was done in a way that it was just shows just a real world use case. And I think Tezos has a lot of that going for it in the future. And even Ethereum just went to proof of stake, so I do think that Tezos was taking the lead even in the past. And I think in the long run, things that are being done today will definitely show up in the years to come, the work that's being put in. So is there anything else you would like to say about your bakery or Tezos in general or anything like that?
Staying there, there's so much potential that I think people are not seeing yet because it's not really being used. So hang in there. The best is to come.
I
Don't
believe
get
that.
discouraged because the fiat price is showing some lower values. Just ignore that. And also the coin market cap rating, try to ignore some of that because there's so much hype pumped into that list of coins
It
that
is.
it's a fake list. If you look at it and you
It
think
is.
that that's a reflection of the market,
It's not.
that is not a reflection of what is actually happening.
That's why I would like to almost see them in the future sort out some of those scam type things that float up in there. That it's just and really just if there would be a different type of coin market cap, almost like legitimate. Like this is legitimate.
Yes,
But,
that
they
would be
don't.
great to
There's
see.
no one that's done that yet. So maybe that's something that someone will do in the future. But
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming and talking with me. It's just there's not we're just starting this, and Tezos is still growing. So I think if we get out as a community and talk to each other, I enjoy talking Tezos with you, and maybe I can even have you on in the future and talk about something else. But I'm just getting out there, getting to meet some of the people behind the scenes, and really just get out and talk to each other, and know that people are still working, people are still building, and a lot of things going on. So. I'll keep it short and sweet, but I have a page on my Tezos Baker where I'm kind of listing some links to your page and put this video on there. So maybe people can click on some of the, our strong bakers. Because I figure if you're here at this point, right, you're really in it for the tech, right? Because the price action. So the people that are still here working, putting in the work, they're really doing a good job. So you can check out Bake Bakery. And I'm going to have a link to that. And if you want to get a hold of you, how do they do that, Rich? What would be the easiest way to get a hold of you? They have questions or something?
Yeah, you can go on the website, baktz.com. So BAKTZ.com. Or I'm on Twitter. You can follow the bakery on Twitter. It's at Real Baked on Twitter. And
okay, well, I'm gonna have to do that. Once again, I appreciate you coming out, Rich. I'm interested in your bakery. I'm interested in what all bakers do. So thank you for supporting my little project here, and I hope people support your small bakery. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.